for the Ultimate Showdown. This is the main event of the evening. A four-way ladder match. There are no rules other than the winner will be the man who manages to take the contract from high above the ring, get back into the squared circle however way that might be, and he will be crowned the new Gen X League champion. Introducing the competitors.
Mic check, mic check. Yo, it's the lyrical. Yo. When I say 01, you say 21. Man, like the reason I'm back with a new one. Rep my city. Now what are you on? Let's think from ends. No, I can't choose one. Might see him in the bull ring. Might see me get to the bling bling. Damn, so I got beef with you. You don't want to see me up on Bull Street. Black root up on Wiley and Skeppy, just as much as Heckin Scott. Might see me broadcast live on the telly. Flip no 1, 2, 1. You think it's it, but look what we're on. Go around now, ends with Leon. We with a Brit recipe for Aeons. Yo, whole city. When I say 01, you say 21, 01. When I say 01, you say 21, 01. When I say 01, you say 21, 01. Sheesh, yeah. When I say that. Oh, what?
Introducing first, representing the 0121, the Lyrical Dragon, man like DeReiss.
Man like DeReiss pointing up at that contract hanging above the ring. He, like the other three competitors in this match, wants to leave here as the new Gen X champion.
Second competitor in the four-way ladder match. He hails from Lincoln and represents the Bullet Club Warlords. This is Robbie X.
Speaking of Gen X champions, this man used to hold that title a long while ago now, and he had a very different outlook on life. He used to be a real fan favourite here in New Generation Wrestling, did Robbie X. You saw what happened at Destiny when he turned his back. The man who that night was his tag team partner earlier in the evening, Jack Bandicoot, attacking Bandicoot in the Destiny Rumble. It seemed as though Robbie X had put Bandicoot out of commission. Only for Bandicoot to return to the ring and win the match later on. The unfinished business, no doubt, between Robbie X and Jack Bandicoot.
Competitor, he hails from the Czech Republic. This is Vusyk.
Vusyk, who we saw earlier on tonight, intervening in that NGW Tag Team title match on behalf of his fellow New Gen members, Yorkshire Tough. Vusyk I'm sure, will have been sent out here with instructions from the leader of New Gen, the NGW champion Miles Kamen, to make sure that Jack Bandicoot, announced earlier on as the fourth and final contestant in this match, Bandicoot gets nowhere near any kind of success. Dangerous man in the Czech Republic is Vusyk. Is he the next Gen X champion? Ready? Pushing and shoving here between Vusyk and man like DeReiss.
And now introducing the fourth and final competitor. Hailing from West Wampa, this is Jack Bandicoot.
The 2025 Destiny Rumble winner, Jack Bandicoot, who had expected to be challenging Miles Kamen tonight for the NGW title. We found out earlier on that Kamen is not medically cleared to compete. Our executive producer, Mark the Beast to event, saying that Bandicoot had earned the right to have a title shot tonight anyway. He was inserted into this ladder match. Now has the chance to walk out as the Gen X champion. Now looks already words being exchanged between Jack Bandicoot and Robbie X. What a spectacular falling out it was between those two men in the Destiny Rumble. XL Bandicoot responsible for the Pairs Ross in a tag team match earlier that night. And this dark side to Robbie X's personality that we've never seen here before in many years in NGW coming to the surface. You've got to think that really ugly side of Robbie X's personality was brought to the fore since he's been spending time over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, one of the biggest wrestling companies in the world, where he's been part of the Bullet Club War Dogs, a group with a very negative attitude that seems to have spilled over into his time here in NGW. He considers himself the best junior heavyweight in the world. Let's find out if that is still true. Match underway. Remember, there are no rules here except that whoever climbs a ladder and claims that contract becomes the new Gen X champion. Can't get a hold of DeReiss. DeReiss with the arm drag and then leaping over Vusyk. Scoops him up, gets a body slam. Now DeReiss will go to the ropes. Drops the leg. Vusyk rolling to the outside. Remember though, 4 men in this match. No chance for any respite. A man like DeReiss. Robbie X getting straight into the ring. It's a cartwheel there. DeReiss ends up on the apron. The overhead kick from Robbie X. DeReiss sent to the outside, but here comes Bandicoot. Bandicoot's been waiting for 4 months to get his hands on Robbie X again. The pace of the exchange between these two. Bandicoot, springboard clothesline. God, how exciting is Jack Bandicoot to watch. Leapfrog from Bandicoot, this time on DeReiss. Two fan favourites here. Bandicoot leaping over the top. DeReiss went for the clothesline, couldn't get him on that one. Bandicoot misses with the kick. A bit of a standoff. A stalemate of sorts between these two. Here comes Robbie X and Vusyk though. Celebrating. Those fans in the past would have cheered Robbie X, but no more. Not after what he did to Jack Bandicoot at Destiny. Now we're going to see an exchange between X and Vusyk. This is going to be interesting. Look at these two hitting each other hard. X having the leg here of Vusyk. From on the outside, remember no count outs here. Chop across the chest there from X. Kick right into the jaw of Vusyk. wonder if there's a little bit of jealousy on the part of Robbie X towards Jack Bandicoot, as X grabbing a ladder here for the first time in the match. Bandicoot, the up-and-comer, the fan favourite, loved by the audience, much like Robbie X used to be, but X now older, I'd like to say wiser, given the company he chooses to keep. I'm not sure if that's the case. X finds himself really as the veteran in the match here, maybe him and DeReiss. Here comes Bandicoot. Baseball slide, find its mark, and he ended up getting hit right in the ribs there by that ladder. Comes DeReiss. DeReiss's baseball slide does work. That ladder goes into both Vusyk and X. Looks like it hit Vusyk in the shin, maybe X in the shoulder. Damage done to both of those guys. DeReiss out, seeing maybe an open path. With no one else in the ring, if he can set that ladder up and climb, he could be the Gen X champion. Vusyk, shot there to DeReiss. Trying to send DeReiss to the outside so he can have the ladder to himself. And he succeeds in doing so. Only temporarily, look, DeReiss immediately back in. Chop that slap across the back. What is DeReiss doing here? To Vusyk. Oh my goodness. Dropped him right on that ladder. A painful looking landing for Vusyk. Vusyk not having the best of times right now in this Gen X Championship ladder match. It's going from bad to worse, courtesy of Bandicoot and DeReiss. He's got his leg caught. Now Robbie X suffering the same fate as well. It's like the world's most uncomfortable seesaw. To the side of the heads of both Robbie X and Vusyk. Yeah, but the alliance between DeReiss and Bandicoot can only be temporary. It's every man for himself here. DeReiss able to send Bandicoot to the outside. What is this from DeReiss? That ladder placed in another painful looking position from Robbie X's perspective. Drop kick, jarring the ladder right into the midsection, shall we say, of Robbie X. And like DeReiss, with no mercy shown with that ladder. Vusyk somehow has recovered enough to get back in here and to challenge DeReiss for that ladder. In fact, Vusyk is the one who's gained control of it. We haven't had a Gen X champion here in NGW since before the pandemic, many years ago now. Vusyk was hoping it would be him. He's going to try and get the body slam here on Bandicoot onto the ladder. Bandicoot kicked him in the face. Bandicoot, what's he doing? He's going to send Vusyk front first into the steel rungs of that ladder. Now an opening for Bandicoot. X is going to stop him. Robbie X. Kick right to the neck there. Slamming that ladder down. Robbie X having taken out all that rage from Jack Bandicoot. The Destiny Rumble for the encore here, but Bandicoot a little too fast for him. Bandicoot gets the kick right to the ear there of Robbie X. Catches him a second time. This time dropping him over the top rope. Rolling back in. Full body weight of Jack Bandicoot down on the abdomen of Robbie X. Bandicoot's going to climb here. Jack Bandicoot. Oh, Bandicoot, just when it looks like you've got a clear path, with so many possible opponents who could block you, X with a drop kick off the top. Bandicoot knocked off the ladder down onto the canvas. It is so difficult to neutralize all three of your opponents sufficiently that you have time to set up that ladder, climb it, and claim the contract. I'm not sure that ladder's even properly in position here for X. Could he reach the contract from there? I don't know. We might never find out because Vusyk dragging him off of the rungs. Headbutt. X. Now adjusting the ladder. He's rather than adjusting so he can climb it. What's he doing here? That ladder draped over the bottom rope across that corner. X apparently wanting to dish out some more punishment to Jack Bandicoot. Bandicoot under that ladder. What is X doing here? Oh my God, X catapulting Bandicoot face first into that horizontal ladder. My word. Could have done some real damage to Jack Bandicoot. X with the right hand there on DeReiss. And this is what X is trying to do now. I said he's the veteran in this match, and he is showing some veteran skills here because he's realizing he's got to not just take Bandicoot out of the way, but to make sure DeReiss can't get involved, make sure Vusyk can't get involved. What's he doing here? X picking up that ladder, suplexing the ladder down onto Bandicoot. Say what you will about that, but it is certainly innovative from Robbie X. Bandicoot is hurting here. Jack Bandicoot in an enormous amount of pain. And this certainly won't help. Vusyk putting the boot in. DeReiss being kept on the outside by X. X going to leap over the top to make sure that DeReiss stays down. Meanwhile, look what Vusyk's doing. Bandicoot inside that ladder. Having his legs dragged backwards. There's no submissions here. It's just designed to inflict more pain on Jack Bandicoot so that he can't get involved. Bandicoot had no idea at the start of the night he was even going to be in a ladder match. He thought he was competing for the NGW title against Miles Kamen here. We do know, though, that whoever becomes a Gen X champion, as part of the rights she gained by becoming champion, does get the right to challenge for the NGW title. So that title still not out of the question in the future for Bandicoot if he wins here. Able to dodge both X and Vusyk. Vusyk went hard, shoulder first into the ring post. X dumping Bandicoot across that top rope. What a strike that was from Robbie X. Bandicoot out flat on his back on the hard arena floor, but a man like DeReiss is back in now. You cannot take your eyes off this. Action everywhere you look. DeReiss catches Robbie X. A big fall-away slam from a man like DeReiss. DeReiss tipping up. Maybe it's his night to become the Gen X champion. Fans loving what they're seeing here. Oh, X looking for the exclamation, got caught in midair by a man like DeReiss, who nails him with a German suplex. DeReiss will go to the ropes now. That swinging kick through the ropes to the back of the head of Robbie X. DeReiss, springboard missile drop kick. And that was a bad 30 seconds or so for Robbie X at the hands of man like DeReiss. The fans chanting 0121. The Birmingham area code represents the home city of man like DeReiss. DeReiss getting close, he's fingertips away from that contract. Vusyk trying to stop him. Vusyk twisting at the ankle here of DeReiss. He's got an ankle lock applied with DeReiss still on the ladder. Catches DeReiss on the way down and then hits him with a backbreaker. Vusyk now. Stamping away on Robbie X. Vusyk choosing to deconstruct that ladder. It was set up ready for him to climb. What's he doing here? I think he's looking to, is he looking to reposition it? Or is he looking to do some damage with it to Robbie X? That's the choice he has to make here. 2-1 making that choice. X clubbing him on the back of the neck. Here comes Bandicoot. Bandicoot up top. Bandicoot over X. Rolls out of the way of Vusyk. Vusyk collides with Robbie. X drop kicking Vusyk into the ladder. Ducking and diving and weaving is Jack Bandicoot off the back of Robbie X. Striking Vusyk. Now Bandicoot with that ladder in hand. Vusyk with nowhere to go. The weight of the ladder drops down across his ribs. Bandicoot now has the chance. Surely the ring is clear. I don't think that ladder's central enough. Bandicoot's so exhausted, I don't think he's put the ladder in the right place. In any case, Robbie X joining him up there. And Robbie trying to reach for the contract. All it would take is for one of these two to yank that contract down from that hook. Bandicoot and X, how precarious is it atop that ladder? DeReiss is bringing a second ladder in, for goodness sake. X has his hand on the contract. Didn't quite get hold of it properly. And DeReiss with one hand on it. And any one of these three could win this at this point. In fact, make it any one of four, because Vusyk's joining them as well. Who will come out on top here? That contract dangling tantalizingly above their heads. Away DeReiss and Vusyk, their ladder shoved sideways. Both men hit the ropes and the same thing happens to Bandicoot and X. Total mayhem in Hull City Hall in the main event of Ultimate Showdown. Look at the carnage here. Good Lord, how much has this match taken out of all four of these men? Who can dig down deep? Who can find that extra bit of effort that will get them up that ladder and claim that contract? All four of their bodies hurting after the punishment they've sustained here. All four back into the ring. These are the kinds of moments that define careers. All four men just gasping for air, trying to get the oxygen flowing around their bodies again. They're all up on their feet, but they're all, frankly, looking a little bit unsteady. DeReiss versus X here. DeReiss getting the better of him with the right hands. It's Vusyk against Bandicoot. Vusyk with the headbutt. Bandicoot got the kick. That took Vusyk down. Bandicoot going after X again. Still no love lost between those two. X gets the spinning kick round the side of the head of Bandicoot. DeReiss straight back in. DeReiss trying for the body slam instead. Hit with an enziguri. That kick to the back of the head from Robbie X. X, what's he doing here? X with a change of plan. Apparently preferring that other ladder. Robbie X setting up that ladder. Clearing the ring. Vusyk out cold there, just draped over the edge of the ring. No movement whatsoever from Jack Bandicoot. Robbie X could be about to become the Gen X champion again. Bandicoot. Bandicoot shoves Robbie. Robbie off the second rope, caught him with the cutter. Unreal from Robbie X. DeReiss with a body slam. I think I just heard him say he's going to hit the 450. The 450. Telling the fans there. He's coming off the top. The 450 splash. A thing of beauty from a man like DeReiss. But Vusyk immediately. That modified backbreaker on DeReiss. Vusyk with the elbows to the back of the head. Vusyk now. It's him who's setting up the ladder. Oh, this is clever. This is clever from Vusyk. If he's doing what I think he's doing, he's trying to trap DeReiss underneath the bottom rung of that ladder. And with Vusyk's body weight on those rungs, DeReiss is trapped. DeReiss can't go anywhere. So that's one of the three opponents taken care of. Vusyk using his intelligence here. Try and get hold of that contract. Oh no, DeReiss. He can't power out from there. DeReiss can't power out from there, surely. Yes, he can. Vusyk knocked into the turnbuckles. Cutter on Bandicoot from DeReiss. DeReiss with limitless reserves of energy here. DeReiss now, his turn to climb. Does he have a clear pathway to the top of that ladder? No, Robbie X now in. Time and again. Every one of these men's efforts getting thwarted, but DeReiss kicked him away. X climbing quickly. He had to climb quickly. Well, DeReiss would have grabbed the contract right there and then. DeReiss got a hold of the arm. Robbie X got a hand of the arm of DeReiss, and he's biting the fingers here of DeReiss. It's a headbutt. X finds himself on that ladder. He's trying to hop it into position. Bandicoot sweeping the leg of Robbie X. He hits a cutter. And listen to the chants. Whole City Hall coming alive here to the Destiny Rumble winner. Is he about to also become the Gen X champion? X has a chair. All weapons are legal here. Robbie X, out of desperation, I think, hitting Bandicoot in the back with that chair. He's going to hit him again. And again. All right, enough now. Enough now, Robbie. Enough. Goodness me. X turning into a savage with that steel chair. Bandicoot's got to be out of this. Bandicoot's got to be out of it after the number that Robbie X just did on him with that chair. What's he doing now? X tossing that ladder down to the floor. He wants the other one. I don't know if maybe that second ladder is more stable. X apparently believing it's worth the time and effort to switch the ladders. That extra time, though, has allowed DeReiss to bring a ladder in as well. Tossing it into the ladder that Robbie X was holding. X goes down. Now DeReiss will set up the ladder in the middle. How many times have we seen this in this match, though? One or other of these guys starting to climb. And those efforts stopped. Can DeReiss do it this time? He's got his hand on it. He's got his hand on the contract. X is back again. X is back again. Vusyk knocked into that ladder by X. DeReiss falls off the ladder into the ropes. And we're back to square one again. X has got a hold of the knee pad here. Is there any part of the body or the clothing of Vusyk that he can hang on to? He will. Vusyk though, stamping away here at Robbie X. Vusyk, what's he doing? Vusyk setting up the ladder. That ladder horizontal. Set up between the other ladder and the ropes. X is biting the fingers. X knows he can't afford to be dumped onto that ladder. And X is a powerbomb, a buckle bomb in fact, from Robbie X. Now X climbing up. Bandicoot getting back to his feet. He's going to have to be quick here. He's got a steel chair in hand. Robbie had one hand on the contract. X down into that ladder. X falls hard onto that horizontal ladder. What a brutal fall that was for Robbie X. And it might be a game changer. Bandicoot, he's got it surely. Jack Bandicoot, Jack Bandicoot is the Gen X champion.
The winner of the match and undisputed Gen X League champion, Jack Bandicoot.
My God, what a 2025 this is turning into for that young man. In February, the winner of the Destiny Rumble. And in June, the first Gen X champion that we have had in years. A match he wasn't even supposed to be in. And yet, Jack Bandicoot being handed the Gen X Cup. Oh, what a moment. For the second whole City Hall show in a row for Jack Bandicoot. Dreams coming true here. It is the stuff that fairy tales are made of for Jack Bandicoot, who has outlasted Robbie X and Vusyk and man like DeReiss to become the undisputed Gen X champion. Look who's here. Look who's here. New Gen. The rest of New Gen. Miles Kamen. Yorkshire Tough.